Hey everybody, it's Mr. Carr again. For this video, I'm actually going to do this as a separate video from the rest of the lesson because I think it's helpful to see this. Where this is a video that's going to be just about where does the quadratic formula come from, okay? And so what we're going to do is the quadratic formula will be our main lesson, but this is going to be how do we get there and where did the formula originally come from? So we're actually going to just do complete the square using ax squared plus bx plus c. No numbers, just keep it in terms of A, B, and C. Okay, I'm gonna scroll down a little bit over here. Let's rewrite this over on this side. So the first thing we did when we have a lead coefficient of A, we divide everything by A. So that turns into x squared plus B over AX plus C over A is equal to 0. We want to bring the C over A to the other side. So I'm going to rewrite it over on the right side here. So it'll be x squared plus B over AX plus blank is equal to negative C over A plus blank. So remember, to get that blank, we're going to do the 1/2 of B over A, but then I'm going to square that. So if I multiply 1/2 times B over A, that's going to give me B over 2A. And that's squared, which turns into B squared. And I square the denominator, that's going to be 2 squared is 4, and then A squared is A squared. This is what gets added to both sides. So I'm going to have B squared over 4A squared. So on the left side, I can do my factoring now. This is going to turn into x plus b over 2a, because remember, this is what's going to be that term. That's going to go in here. So x plus b over 2a squared is equal to, and on the right side, I want to put that together as one fraction. So to get there, I need to multiply this by a 4a times a to have a common denominator. So I'll do the same thing to my numerator. So I'll have 4a times a negative c. So we have negative 4ac plus b squared all over 4a squared. Now, in the next step, I'm going to actually switch the order of these two because it's just a little bit neater to have b squared in the front. But then after that, I'm also going to do the square root to both sides because we can do our square root property. I'm going to have x plus b over 2a is equal to a plus or minus. In my numerator, I'm going to have the square root of, and again, I'm going to rearrange that a little bit so that it's b squared minus 4ac. In my denominator, I can take the square root of this. The square root of 4 is 2, and the square root of a squared is a. The last thing I need to do is I need to subtract the b over 2a over. So here's what my formula looks like. X equals negative b over 2a plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. This is our quadratic formula. And this is what we're going to be using for the next video in our next lesson, the rest of the lesson. Okay? So that's where this comes from. I'm going to use a slightly modified version because what's going to happen too is since these have common denominators, I can put those together. Okay, as a quick review right here, there it is like that. This is the same as this. So it's just put together with a common denominator. Right? You can use either one. I kind of prefer this one. I think there's less mistakes there, but we'll talk more about that in the next video. Okay, so that's it. That's how we can use completing the square to show this is where the quadratic formula comes from. All right, take care, everybody.